Hello everybody and welcome to Sapsucker Woods. It is a winter day. I did not note the temperature, but I believe it's in the low 30s. There is a little bit of a breeze out there, not terribly windy, but there's a breeze. There's snow on the ground because we've had snow over the last few days. Not a lot of snow. It doesn't look like it's very deep, but we'll have to deal with it. And mostly cloudy, I would say. A few minutes ago, the sun was pretending to break through, but all pretenses have passed, and now we're back in the clouds. I can see in a couple spots where it looks like the clouds are breaking up a bit, but overall it's a cloudy day. Anyway, we're gonna see if we can have a walk and have maybe an enjoyable winter day. If you tuned in last Saturday, you may recall we had the good fortune to see some, mostly swans, but also other waterfowl that were with them on Cayuga Lake. And the vocalizations, in my opinion, were just a delight to hear. And I did post that all to, I did post that on YouTube if you're interested. And quite honestly, I think I expressed this last week. Those vocalizations are one of the reasons I've really come to appreciate tundra swans. And they're just something I look forward to seeing and hearing in the wintertime. But today is a new day, and we're going to see if we can have a nice walk. Give me a moment. I'm just getting everything set up here, and have to get a tripod and a warmer coat, and we'll take a walk. By the way, I have not seen or heard all that much here. A couple of blue jays, a couple of crows, black-capped chickadee, and that's just about it. The pond is covered with snow and ice. Blue jay is flying overhead, and there's another one vocalizing. Maybe a couple. see a few blue jays right now. One of them is One of them is really vocalizing. That. This will more than likely be a fairly short walk just because there may not be all that much to see. As I've said before, you know, wintertime here, it's not that there's nothing to see, but it's not like it's everywhere and anywhere you look. You sometimes have to be patient, or you have to have a little bit of luck in seeing something. So it's conceivable we would have a walk, for instance, when we don't see much at all. Last week we didn't really see much here, but we ended up overall seeing a lot on the way to Montezuma, and then once we were there. Need some adjustments to my oh, something's in the air. Hold on. Looks like a hawk. Could be a turkey vulture. Looks like a hawk to me. Red-tailed hawk. It's hard to stay with it given where it is and my tripod adjustment right now. Hold on. Oh, it's right over our heads. I think I'm going to lose track of it very shortly. Okay. So that was a red-tailed hawk. And who's this in the air? A blue jay? Or a crow, maybe? Crow. to turn, and there it is. We'll let the crow go. And we're hearing repeated calls from the blue jays. At least one, maybe more, actually calling, but at least one is calling. And are you up at the top of the tree? Right there. Okay, hold on, let me see. All right, let's get walking. I used to spend more time here at Sapsucker, you know, when I used to just come here to take still photos. And so maybe that was a part of it. But I just don't see red-tailed hawks within the woods all that often anymore. Used to see them fairly often. And now much less frequently. And if I am to see them, it's usually, you know, maybe around the parking lot area. That was either a hairy woodpecker or a red-bellied. But now it's if I see them again, it's around the parking lot area, or it used to be. You know, we'd see one maybe on occasion on one of the, you know, the dead trees in the pond, the taller trees. Well, most of those trees are gone now. They've fallen. With the naked eye, I don't see anyone in the field. Oh, there's somebody. Junco, maybe? Maybe? Oh, it took off before I could get it. Okay, well, nothing really going on here. Excuse me. Thank you. So there's definitely snow on the ground, although where I'm walking now this is a well-traveled area, but where I just heard an American goldfinch, I think. Here there's whatever is beneath me is packed down, easy to walk on. The trails could be a different matter. I'm hearing American goldfinch. And that was a woodpecker of some sort, either a hairy or a downy. And possibly a white-throated sparrow. Okay, we're gonna get to the trails then, I guess. Not much going on here. I see a starling up there, and I just heard a pileated woodpecker. The starling is right there. European starling. And I heard a pileated woodpecker. And I think I just heard it again. Those berries are still over there. Seems like nobody wants to eat them. I'm not sure what that is. It just took off. I'm not sure what it was.
Yeah, I saw a red-tailed hawk a little earlier.
So did I. In flight. Thank you. That sparrow looked... Oh, I see it again. Hold on. It's not close, though. I don't see it. Okay. Problem on this boardwalk for me is that sometimes, it's kind of narrow, so it can be tough to get my tripod set down and situated in a way that I can use it. I hear a crow. If you think about it, it's still, I guess on the calendar, it's still late autumn, but it's winter time. And it's quiet here in the woods. We've heard a few vocalizations, but not much. And it just goes to show you how the number of vocalizations changes over the course of a year. You could argue that we're in the quietest time of year right now, and a few months we'll be heading into the noisiest time of year, in the spring, when there are far more vocalizations, not just because there are overall more birds here in the woods, here in Sapsucker Woods, but the activities are different. Now, it's a matter of, okay, let's find food, let's take care of business, let's find enough calories, enough nutrition to stay alive. In the spring, there's all that, but there's also, everything to do with reproduction, nesting, and all that. So, it's a different time of year. Now, some things are obviously a matter of being in the right place at the right time. Yesterday in the morning, I looked out my window, and I think I heard things before I went to look out. And there were a lot of Canada geese flying around, and eventually down to the field that's within my view. And I think they stayed there most of the day. Today I didn't see any Canada geese when I looked out my window. It's possible they've since gone there, but I would have to say my thinking is they went elsewhere today. Something's flying through our view. It looked like a crow, I think. Hold on a second, let me look with binoculars. Where'd it go? Hold on, set you down here. I do see it, and it is a crow. Okay. Not close to us yet, so we won't bother to look. Somehow don't remember that being down. It looks like it was fairly freshly cut. I just don't remember it being cut down. In some ways it looks like it happened recently. In some ways, no, not. Just the way it looks today anyway. I just don't remember that. Snow's not too deep, but I mean it's not. I mean it's actually in terms of what I in terms of fresher snow on on top of a hardened surface. There's not much there. Looks a little deeper here, actually. Pileated. It looks like it's flying out of view, but definitely a pileated woodpecker. Definitely flying out of view. Still in flight. Must have been on a nearby tree. Very quietly took off. All of a sudden I happened to see it. Now what did I see about it? The general shape of it, almost crow-sized, but there was a long, longer bill. I did see a flash of white on its wing, something you wouldn't see with an American crow. Slightly different flight style. I think I've mentioned it before. When I first started bird watching, taking still photos. You know, I would, day like today, I would be out and about. I'd get as many pictures as I could, and then eventually I'd head home and I'd look through whatever I took. And if there was something I liked, I might, try to label it and post it on Flickr. And sometimes I'd post one and I'd label it incorrectly. I'd misidentify the species. And maybe someone else would make a comment on the photo that, nice photo, but this is such and such instead of what you've, how I've identified it. And I would, thank the person and change it and, okay, move on. And then there have been times when I've gone back and I've looked at those photos, those same photos, and I see that, someone had at the time, corrected me. And I would look up at the photo again, knowing now, or at the time, having, greater identification knowledge than I had in the past. And I'd be like, how on earth could I have identified it as such and such when it was very obviously this other species? And, it all depends on your knowledge level and everything. And, I just think about it, and over the years I've picked up, an awareness of various species and everything, and it's just, for me, it's been a slow accumulation of knowledge, maybe slower than it should be. No, definitely slower than it should be. But I've enjoyed it. In some ways, those days seem like so long ago when I was taking still photos almost exclusively. And, they weren't yesterday, but we're talking, around 2008, 2009. Not much going on here. So as you can see, not much to look at. Some of these may be footprints here on the edge. I think it would be, at least for me, very difficult to identify what they are, just because even if they were clear, I would have a hard time. But things have melted a little bit, and so the footprints are kind of deformed a bit. All right, let's keep going. Of course, just like with birds, if you can't see the colors, well, maybe you can see the shape or you can see other things. Even with footprints, there are certain things you could probably rule out. If you saw that each print was, a foot or so, let's say, from the prior print, then you say, okay, it's probably not a mouse. Something larger. the other day. I think it was in the morning, or maybe it was at night. I don't remember now. I think it was at night. And it was time to go outside and just deal with bird feeders and things like that. And I prefer, within reason, to keep the area free of snow. Sometimes I'll let it go deliberately, sometimes I won't, but in general, I like to keep the area free of snow. And it had snowed during the day, or maybe it had snowed overnight and I just hadn't gotten to it yet. Usually I'll take care of things in the evening. And the whole area was completely filled with bird footprints. All over. I mean, like almost every inch had bird footprints on it. I would have to guess mostly the juncos, but dark-eyed juncos. They're the ones most likely to walk, like, beyond the deck and walking here and walking there. A chickadee, for instance, most of the time, they go to a couple spots, but usually they go to the feeder, get something quickly, and then fly away. They're not likely to really be walking around on the snow. Did I hear a cardinal? Maybe. So again, another overall pretty quiet visit to Sapsucker. We did see a red-tailed hawk flying around, and we've seen or heard American crows and blue jays, maybe possibly a white-throated sparrow, possibly a northern cardinal. Just listening. I think I'm hearing a dog in the distance. Probably either a hairy or a downy woodpecker with saw pileated, herd pileated.
but quiet. No waterfowl whatsoever. Not yet, anyway. And I'm doubtful we'll see any, given the condition of the pond, frozen over. That's why, one reason why I think it would be a good idea to have the bubblers. Maybe I'm wrong, but looks like another blue jay in flight. And another one. Oh, it took off. Took off. I'm gonna head to the car pretty soon. I hear a blue jay. You know, think about it. Even the human activity here is quite different in wintertime. You're much more likely to see people walking the trails, just, non-birders, than you see them now. You see them in the spring, you see them, all the warmer months. But days like today, not so much. Sometimes. Now, I don't see it so often. Maybe I'm not here enough, but I don't even see the tracks. I used to see people cross-country skiing here sometimes, but not so much anymore. But let's be honest with ourselves. Cross-country skiing is just too much work. It's just too much work. It's no fun. It's good exercise, but it's no fun. Okay, we're going to head to the car and we'll go to the campus. After that, we'll likely take a break. I did go in the lab earlier and there were people there, visitors. Nice to see. Okay. Need a few minutes to get us in the car, and then we'll get on the way. I know it's not really a car, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean.
Come on, how'd that cord get like that? Okay, we are heading to the campus. Not that much here today. Or I should say, not that much that's obvious and readily visible. Even species we might expect to see or hear, like tufted titmice and white-breasted nuthatches, just didn't see them. Some starlings, I think, up above. Yes, just a few. Hi, sapsucker. Thermometer is reading 29 degrees right now. So, I mean, not, not absolutely frigid, but not warm either, of course. About what you'd expect for the time of year. Actually, at the end of the walk, I started to get a little bit overheated. A little bit too warm. Just because I was, bundled up and everything. Sometimes when I'm, when we're out there on the trails and I'm carrying a bunch of gear and everything, and if there's a fair amount of snow on the ground, fresh snow, and it's harder to walk through, that's when I most readily overheat. It can be difficult to get the winter apparel just right. What I was wearing just now was, warm enough. Certainly, I have a coat that's even warmer. But, just I chose not to wear it. I have it with me, but I just didn't think it would be necessary, and in fact might be too warm. Of course, you can always adjust a coat. You open up a zipper or something like that, but actually, that when I'm carrying the stuff and wearing what I do, that can be sometimes opening of the jacket really doesn't help. guess in terms of bird watching, my week was pretty quiet. I didn't really see much. Nothing out of the ordinary at all. Even the activity at my bird feeders has not been all that great. I would say, though, that the other day it seemed like the starlings had discovered my feeders again, so who knows, things could be different now. When I the other day I was seeing a starling or two there, and I did my best not to disturb it, and and then as I walked away from the window, I thought I could imagine one of the starlings being like, What's going on? This guy's not trying to scare us away at all. That's the second year in a row. Is the food okay? In the past, I've tried to discourage them just because I want other birds to have a chance at the feeders. I think the starlings are one thing, although they can dominate a feeder, and you get like 3 or 4 of them really going at each other, and nothing else to get in. And then, not this time of year, but when the grackles return in the spring, they can really dominate things. Between them and the starlings in the spring, it's like, how can anyone else get in? And it's one of the reasons why eventually in spring, depending on how things are going weather-wise and everything, it's like, okay, time to stop filling the feeders. Everybody, you're on your own. Welcome to the Cornell campus. It's reading 34 here, at least for the moment. That's a fairly large difference from 29. Now, I haven't been watching the thermometer the whole time I've driven here, but it was 29 when we were leaving the sapsucker. Maybe that has something to do with just my car sitting there, but usually, if anything, the numbers are higher rather than lower. See, that was wrong. You shouldn't have stopped. The person was not in the road. That person should have waited for you to drive through. see anybody here. I think I see a gull in the air. See a crow. I see another crow. And the third crow.
Just a bad actress, and all it means to me, somehow she always bring out the beast in me. That's why they claim to be releasing me, as a living off of all of my royalty. Ain't attacking so efficiency, thinking they can take me, but obviously they don't really know my history. I put them back in a position of submission. I listen. My fault, ain't your fault, ain't your fault, ain't mine. Be mine either. It's just a different design. Your fault, be your fault, and your fault, be mine. Your fault, be mine either. It's just a different design. So come again. Your fault, ain't your fault, ain't mine. It ain't mine. No, no. Your fault, ain't mine either. It's just a different design. Same again. My fault, ain't your fault, ain't your fault, ain't mine.
I see a hawk in the air.
It's just a different design. Kick it like this. Can I get a whoop whoop? Can I get a whoop whoop?
Not sure who it is.
Okay, let's go see if we can catch up with that hawk. Oops. Oh, I didn't want to do that. Oh well. Next song.
It's hard for me to stop my heart. Love never knows time is right.
Oh, somebody's in the air. Could be the same hawk.
Anybody can love you. I never felt like this before.
Up in the air. If I had to guess, it looks like Arthur.
Let life take its course. That's the only thing for us to do.
Alright, let's see what we can do here. Oh, you know what? Right over us. And still over us. Oh, now, well, I don't know. Oh, it's a second hawk. Because the first one that we saw that landed in a tree is still there. Hold on. Hold on. Come on, where are you? Hold on. There you are. Hello. That's a juvenile. And was displaced by, where are you? Sorry, I didn't catch that quite as well as I would have liked. And now, I believe that was Arthur who just took off. And now, in the air, if I can find okay, oh, hold on. Okay, hold on.
getting hard to... Sorry, everybody. Okay, getting difficult to stay or to even find it. Whoever that was, I think it was probably Arthur. All right, let's...
So we saw a juvenile, and then Arthur came and displaced that juvenile. And unfortunately, I wasn't really like on the juvenile when that happened, only partially. I have no idea who it was. And I don't see anybody at the moment. Let me just stop and look around for a moment with binoculars. Have just a few more minutes before I think we should go to break, and do some driving. Oh, I see somebody. Gotta turn around. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Oh, shoot. Don't do this at home. I can't see. Okay, just one. On Sage Hall. We'll have to turn around. No good viewing from here, and the road is closed ahead. Still there, so we're going to go see if we can have a look at our hawk there. The viewing might not be good. I don't know. We'll find out. There might not even be a place to park. Still up there.
Great. Oops, I was recording the whole time? Looks like Arthur to me. Hello. Okay, everybody, I think, really it's time that I packed up a bit and we took a break. We're watching Arthur right now, a red-tailed hawk, if you didn't know. Hold on a second. And I think, like I said, I think it's time we took a break. So we're looking at about 3:30. Maybe a little sooner, depending on how things go and if I happen to find anything on my way. Okay, everybody, so let's take a break. Good to see Arthur.
Hello everybody, welcome. We're on, I guess, Lower Lake Road, and we're looking out on Cayuga Lake. It is snowing, not heavily, but it's snowing. Seeing some gulls out there. Our visibility is not great. Oh, that's a hooded merganser there. So some hooded mergansers and, is that a gadwall? Looks like it. And there are swans in the area, tundra swans, but none in view at the moment. We're going to move forward very shortly, but I'm hearing tundra swans. And who's this flying above just above the water? Oh, swans out there. Hello. You can hear the tundra swans. Okay, and okay, let's move forward a ways. It's 32 degrees, and as I said, it's snowing, so our visibility is not great. Oh, I think... Oh, I don't know. I'm going to stop right here. Hold on a second. What's going on here? Okay. So who's out here? We see swans, I believe tundra swans, and also there are some American widgeons out there. And farther out, what's going on way out there? Just making use of some of the ice, I guess. Mallard there, and an American black duck behind that swan. Another hooded merganser. These are tundra swans. So mallards, and you see there, that's who just turned to our right. That's an American widgeon. Canada goose.
So again, our visibility is not great. In fact, it's getting worse. See behind the ice, those look like common mergansers. Common, not hooded. I'm not sure who those are. They're ducks by their size, but I'm not sure who they are. We watched swans and other waterfowl for an extended period of time last week. So I'm not sure we're going to do that today, but this is different actually. You know, some of them are out of the water. Beautiful. It's my belief that, oh yeah, some gadwalls in there too, I think. I think some of these ducks and things, I think they like to be around the swans because the swans can reach for that vegetation. And just like we see, we've seen before many times, American widgeons around the American coots, and seemingly taking some of the vegetation that is brought closer to the surface. I think that's happening a lot, and we saw that a lot last week, where it seemed like, yeah, see, the ducks they stay pretty close to the swans. I could be wrong, but I think that's a deliberate behavior on their part to see if they can get whatever is brought to the surface. We're not going to stay here too long, but I love watching the swans. Now, I'd say we're a little bit farther away this week than we were where we parked last week when we were watching them. And I'm not sure if they're quite as vocal. I think they're pretty close. Okay, let's move on.
Things are a little, a little bit different. This week it could be that there's more, maybe a little bit more ice. Okay, should be nice. Right here.
Gotta move a little bit. Hold on. See, there's a northern pintail and some American black ducks there. pintail, female, and there's a male nearby also. Gadwall back there. Those are ringneck ducks out there. And a redhead also. But mostly ringneck ducks. Oh, there's another redhead. American black ducks making their way in. Snoozing. Sorry, I couldn't stay with them for various reasons, technical reasons. Okay, I think we'll move on, even though I could watch this for another 6 or 7 hours. I just can't, I can't leave just yet.
I have to change the battery. Apparently. I'm surprised. I shouldn't have to already, but I do. Did I change the battery? I think I did. Yeah, that's a new one in there. Alright, let's move forward a bit. Oh wow, hold on.
I just love it. Again, those are ring-necked ducks out there primarily, but they're like right there in front of us. There are a couple redheads also right, well, actually a few of them, 4 of them right there, redheads, males. And more, there are more coming in. More redheads and ring-necked ducks out there. Canada geese coming in a bit. Back to Canada geese and tundra swans here. Hey, hey, hey. Okay, we're going to move on. redheads, some mallards, red ringneck ducks.
I mean, there's a lot to see here, and now right here. Let me just show you quickly. Like right here, the ice has extended out a bit. So we're not as close. And then it looks like the activity kind of tapers off a bit. And then I'm not sure if those are swans or if they're gulls up ahead. Let's find out as best we can. And, you know, I apologize if this bores any of you. I just enjoy it, and it's part of, to me, it's an enjoyable part of winter bird watching. This is really the last area from which we can really see nicely. So let's look from here, and then it'll be up on the highway and more difficult to see. Let me look where are my binoculars? Who took my binoculars? There they are. Okay, a lot of swans. Hold on a second. Got to deal with something here. So you can see still more activity. Now we're not going to be able to look at all of it, and maybe we shouldn't do it anyway, but and again, these are all farther away from us just because of the ice, I think. But for me, anyway, this is something to look forward to in winter.
And like I said, I mean, we're not going to be able to look at all of that just because of where it is and the viewing areas that are allowed. Are those? I don't know. Are those mute swans out there? Possibly? Where were they? Those, I think we've got some mute swans way out there. I may be wrong. Yes, just by the shape of their heads and especially the bills, I think we have some mute swans out there. They're just hard to focus on. I'm seeing a little bit of that orange on the bill, and they're, you know, the bodies are white, so it's not like they're young with a pinkish bill. So beyond the tundra swans, we have some mute swans out there, and that's a regular place to see mute swans. Yeah, definitely mute swans way out there. Mute swan is larger than the tundra swan. Okay, let's head down to Montezuma.
And, you know, we could probably, I'm not going to do it, but we could probably head in the opposite direction on this very road and maybe see different, you know, more ducks, more swans. Would we see more variety? I don't know. But we only have so much daylight. But this is, you know, a great place to stop along Lower Lake Road there. Now we're back up on the highway now. I did not see all that much activity as I drove here, that much activity on the lake. I did see what looked like a raft of snow geese well out there, but at the time it was snowing a bit and they were in their usual spot, you know, maybe about 3/4 of the way across the lake, and they were difficult to see, but given where they were, how they appeared to be and everything, I'm fairly certain they were snow geese. My glimpses of the lake from here, yeah, it's mostly covered with snow and ice. So, you know, it could be that if we were staying here along, you know, but along Lower Lake Road, it might be that we wouldn't be seeing anything, just because it would be all ice there. That, as I've said before, that's one thing in winter that we often see happening is, you know, areas of open water can often be a draw for birds. And, you know, what we just saw is kind of proof of that. Probably some of the first areas, you know, heading from north to south on the lake, some of the first areas that seem to be essentially open, and that was drawing a lot of the tundra swans, and I think, this is just a guess on my part, I think some of the other birds, some of the other ducks were hoping to take advantage of any food that was brought to the surface. You take some of the ducks like the mallards and, well, yeah, some of the other ducks, the American black ducks, for instance, they're not really diving ducks, they're more dabbling ducks, and they're not going to, you know, they can't reach for the food and as you know, quite as well as the swans can, the larger swans with their longer necks, and they just seem to be, you know, hoping to hang around and maybe get some food that was stirred up by the swans. Again, supposition, I guess, on my part, but that seemed to be what we were seeing. Ahead, I see a lot of activity, a lot of flight activity. Are they Canada? What are they? Crows. And they look like they're primarily focused on the field to our left. I can't really see them just because of the way the ground rolls. Lots of crows in the field. Hello, crows. And we've got to keep going. And I do see some Canada geese also, I think in flight. I don't know if I see any on the ground. And it's a harvested cornfield. Lots of cranes. Sorry, crows were there. And I'm not sure if I see possibly some. I'm not sure if those are Canada geese or not. I can't tell. It's a little too far away. We haven't gone to the airport yet this season, just to see if anyone's there. Come on, people, go, go, go. White screen, go, 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 go. Come on. Let's go. Green means go. Come on. Oh, you didn't hit the brakes to take a right turn. See? Light turns green, and I begin moving right away. That's how it works. It was easy. .32 still. See some deer to our left, 3 of them. Keep getting stuck behind vehicles today. On my way out of Ithaca, heading here, there was a city bus kept making stops and stops and stops, and you can pass such a bus, but the 2 vehicles between me and the bus, well, they didn't know how to do that, or they didn't realize you could. The vehicle ahead of us is just spreading salt. It's not plowing. There's no salt on, or I'm sorry, there's no snow on the road to plow, so it's just spreading salt. Is anyone betting on the light? I'm betting it'll be red, and it is red. So, I see some tire tracks there on Wildlife Drive. I don't know. Maybe someone was there. Either could be that someone went in the back, backwards or something, or I don't know. But that was the end of Wildlife Drive. You're not supposed to be there. I don't know if they drove very far by the looks of things. Surprisingly, looks like Maze Point Pool is frozen over. And from what I've seen of Shockey, it's also covered with snow and ice. And just looking around, not seeing much activity, if anything. We'll more than likely pull over at least a little bit on this bridge. And the first area, everything looks covered in snow and ice, so no activity. And this is more open. But is there any activity? Not that I see. So nothing happening there. And I don't see anything going on this side either. I would say last week it was more open than it is today. And this is all covered, and that is all covered. Now last week, as we were coming back through here, late in the day, we did see Canada geese on the water and coming in for roosting, or at least it looked like they were coming there for roosting. And there's still some open water there, today, so they should be able to at least, make use of at least some of it. And I don't know. I don't know how thick any ice that we saw just now was, and would you have to worry about animals running out on there and going after the geese? I kind of doubt it, but who knows? See some pigeons to our left. I was hoping we wouldn't catch up to the salt truck and the vehicle behind it quite so quickly, but we did. I guess I could take a left turn up ahead and head down to that area, but I don't think we're going to do that. Well, you know what? I take it back. There's a chance that we might see some trumpeter swans there. We've seen tundra. Seen tundras today on the lake, but I wonder if there might be some trumpeter swans still still here and making use of the corn that was left behind. So just a quick check, and then we'll turn right around if we don't see anybody. I have a feeling we won't see anybody, but who knows? Didn't see anybody last week. can't say I can see everything that, you know, we were looking at over the last couple weeks, but I don't get the feeling that there's anybody around. Okay, let's turn around. Now, it could be, what I don't know is if maybe there were swans here earlier in the day and now they've headed elsewhere to roost somewhere. That is possible. I don't know. Kind of doubt it, but... Last week, I can only speak for myself, but I was surprised at the number of sandhill cranes that were around, given what I had, we had seen the week before, but apparently some had moved into the area. Or they had just been, we just missed them the week before. I don't know. You know what? I'm not going this way. Changed my mind. I was going to, head in a different direction and maybe look around for, anything that might be in the fields. And then I changed my mind, and it wasn't even because of, I don't want to waste the time or anything. I remembered last week, as we were driving, I kept disturbing, smaller birds that were along the road, and I just didn't want to do that, so changed my mind. Now the question is, will there be sandhill cranes around today? A week can be a long time, and things could, I don't know what the conditions were like every single day of the week up here. I think I see cranes in the air. 1 second. No, those are geese, Canada geese. Do I see... No, I don't see any cranes just yet. Okay, a number of Canada geese are in the air above the field to our right. Let's continue here and see if maybe we find something else. Okay, let me pull over here for just a second. Looking in the field to our left, and I'm seeing nothing. It is getting late, so late in the day. It was fun to watch the sandhill cranes last week. Here and then from East Road, and then they came back here, and I don't know what was going on. See any cranes from here. You know, I'm wondering if the cranes, all those cranes that we saw last week, if they've already moved on. And, you know, headed further south. I don't know. Let's take a moment. We're going to continue on. This is Route 31 here that we're about to get back onto. And we're going to kind of stuck. There we go. And we'll drive this way, and I think maybe we'll even, you know what, I'd like to cross the bridge that's up ahead just to see. I'm curious to see if the Seneca River is, I can't remember if it freezes over or not normally. I would not be surprised if it does, but maybe it's not frozen just yet. I don't know. I wondered about that last week, and if it had been, you know, another roosting location for the Canada geese, but we never made it that far to see if there were any geese on the water, or if even the water was open and available. So we'll take a quick look today. Right now the river looks like it's covered with ice, essentially. So it would not be, I don't think it would serve well as a roosting spot for, for any Canada geese or anything else. It's not the largest river, so it's no surprise really that it's frozen over already. At least in that area that we could see. As you can see, it's all
all covered now. There might be somebody there. Let's take a quick look. It looks like a couple of eagles. Let's see if we can maybe have a quick look at them. If possible. Okay, just a quick look. Whatever it was that they were eating looked like it was fairly large. Something's in the air. I'm not sure what it is. To our left, up ahead and to our left. Could be swans, but I'm not sure. Can't see them that well. They're getting farther away. Let's keep going. Especially because I've got a vehicle behind me. You know, I feel sorry for any animal I find, you know, that has perished. And, but, you know, you can take comfort in that when something does happen, it's not going to go to waste. Some other creature will benefit ultimately. And we just saw those two eagles. And I don't know what they were eating. It seems relatively large, whatever it had been. And you know, I have no idea what led to the demise of that animal. Near my home. This is a couple weeks ago, I think now. I saw a dead Canada goose near the road, and I thought I had spotted it. I turned around, and sure enough, I verified. The next day, now I don't believe it was because it was covered in snow or anything. The next day it was gone. And it's possible that a human being saw it, picked it up, and did something, but I don't know, I kind of doubt it. I think it's just as likely that some other creature came along and took it. Apparently didn't eat it there. So I don't know. Could be that someone picked it up. I have no idea. Just where it was, though, it's not like it didn't seem like a sort of area that would be constantly monitored for such things, and someone would want to take care of it. I mean, it wasn't in someone's front yard. And in fact, there's a garbage bag that someone dumped there or something, not far from it, that remains there.
all that being said, I still feel sorry for any creature that is injured or anything like that. So we're on East Road right now. It's 31 degrees. It's getting dark. And it's my guess we will not be seeing any sandhill cranes at all today, but I don't know. It's possible. You can still see in the various agricultural fields, there's likely food to be found. I'm going to just pull over here for a second and take a look at the binoculars. I see, actually, not in the marsh itself, but in the fields beyond, I do see a lot of Canada geese. And for the moment, that's all I do see. But let's take a quick look and see if maybe there is something else possibly out there. So you can see, so the marsh, this is the marsh you know and love, frozen over. And then in the fields beyond, and I might be hearing more Canada geese to our left. I'm not sure, maybe in the air, but I don't know. Okay, I don't see anything else. We're going to move on, I think. So far, we're not seeing much up here in Montezuma. Really, actually, it's been a quiet day except for what we saw on Cayuga Lake. That I enjoyed very much. And make no mistake, I've enjoyed walking around. I've enjoyed driving around. For me, it's just an enjoyable experience to go looking for birds and occasionally find some. See a vehicle up ahead. Is there anybody in the vehicle? And if so, what are they looking at? Look like anybody's in there. I'm going to stop here for a second. I'm going to look at the binoculars. I'm sliding. Okay, let's continue. Slippery here. This part of this road is not really paved with asphalt. We're getting to the asphalt area now. And I have a feeling that, maybe I'm wrong, but I have a feeling they don't even bother to go through with, snow removal equipment beyond the asphalt areas. at the risk of sounding silly or sappy or whatever, I say I enjoy this, and it's true, but it's as I've said before, it's so wonderful to maybe encounter something special, and to be able to show other people that something special in real time. And just a little while ago we were looking at those swans, and I know I was enjoying them. I'm not sure if everybody else was, but I enjoyed them, and I enjoyed them last week very much also. And it's just a pleasure to be able to share something like that with people who enjoy it also. If you enjoyed it, I imagine you enjoyed it. If not, I would have turned it off. But if I were you, or walked away or something. And actually, that brings up nobody down there. I don't see any swan or any geese or anything. Maybe it's a little early yet. That is. Oh, I just saw a lot of small birds flying right over the road. I think. Unless my eyes are playing tricks on me. Maybe they're playing tricks on me. I don't know if they did. I don't know where they went. Anyway, that is one thing about this. If you want to encourage people to tune in and give it a try, that's the beauty of it. If they don't like it, they can just turn it off, walk away, whatever. And as you know, people can and do come and go. People come for a little while, then leave, and that's one of the great things about this. The only one who has to stay is me. I know it's I, but anyway, I'm the only one who has to be here to do this, and anyone else can just come and go as they please. I told you it was always red. We still have a little bit of daylight left, so we're still looking for birds. So from here, I can see some of what I believe is part of the main pool. And it, it's covered with snow and ice. Could be wrong about that. Maybe that's, well, I don't know. But I've mentioned before, even if they were doing winter maintenance, and even if you could get through on Wildlife Drive, there might not be anything to see. Next week will be the 20th. Hard to believe it, but it'll be our, last tour before Christmas. Barring, something special or something. Come on. A part of me thinks, we could just go right back to Cayuga Lake as soon as, we reach an area that's opened up, in terms of ice and water. But another part of me thinks maybe we should, granted it's getting dark, maybe we should try to go to the airport and look around. That's maybe not such a bad idea. I don't know if anyone is there. I haven't heard of anything, but then again, I haven't talked with anybody. And I don't get the sense anyway that, and the reason why we would go to the airport if you're new is, potential for a snowy owl. But a couple things. I mean, it is getting late, so if an owl had been there, would it have left to go hunting by now? Maybe. But anyway, I haven't seen a report of an owl, a snowy owl, at the Finger Lakes Regional Airport in years. Even though we've seen owls there. We saw an owl there last year, at least a couple times. And the year before we didn't see any, but last year we did see one, or, well, I don't know if it was the same one each time. We saw regularly. And, but I haven't seen an eBird report, a rare bird alert in years. And I just wonder if either no one's bothering to report, or it's no longer considered rare. It's, you know, at the airport just because it's a regular visitor there or something. So I think we will try to go there and have a look. Now, to our left, I mentioned earlier the lake had frozen up a bit, and to our left, you know, here at the northern end of the lake, it's more shallow than the southern end, and it freezes more readily. Between being shallow and also, you know, potentially, maybe, I don't know, a little colder up here. But as you know, from what I can glimpse from here, I see just white. Likely it's not solid, but I guess it's possible. So I think we're going to head towards the airport. No, we don't want to hear this. You know, I always like this. Hold on. I'll start over. This song, this is Once Upon a Star by Mars. I don't know if his last name is pronounced Laser or Lazar or whatever, Lasar. And it's the music I used for the end of the video I put together for my trip to Nebraska to see the sandhill cranes. And as a result, it always reminds me of that trip. And music does that for me. You know, certain songs will bring up memories right away, and that's a memory you know, I have. Even though I wasn't playing the song in Nebraska when I was there. Anyway, here's the song again. Flight. I don't usually come towards the airport from Montezuma. Usually I, arrive here first and then make my way to Montezuma. So, I mean, from that, in that way, it looks different coming here, and especially when it gets dark. But we're here, and we'll take a look around. I doubt we'll see anything. I don't know if anyone, owl-wise was even here in the first place. And I just want to take a quick glimpse and see, looks like there's some activity up ahead in terms of vehicles. It is snowing a bit. And maybe this was all a very bad idea, just because it's, even under great circumstances, it's difficult to see an owl here when there's snow on the ground. I don't see anybody. That could be that there was someone here earlier, or could be that there wasn't one at all, and there hasn't been, and maybe there won't be this year. I don't know. Let's continue on, I guess. I know what you're thinking. That was Jackie Blue by the Ozark Mountain Daredevils. How could the same group that produced that song also produce the song Chicken Train? This is not Chicken Train, by the way. We're on Saybolt Road, by the way. And it is obviously getting very dark, so I don't know if we'll see anything. Probably not, but you never know. May encounter something of interest. Maybe not birds, but maybe something. Like a few deer. And some Canada geese. Used to come here regularly to see snowy owls, and but the last couple of years, or at least I haven't seen them here. And I think it's the field to our right where they would be seen on what we had believed was natural gas pumping equipment. One would just hang out there during the day, but haven't seen that in years. And I have to admit, when I do drive through here, I kind of, I don't look nearly as closely as I used to, because it has been so long since I've seen an owl here on this road. And we've had much better luck in the last 2 or 3 years, actually. Maybe more, at the airport. And we should probably close up very, very soon, as it is getting quite dark. wish we could have seen more today. See another deer to our left. Make it 2. That's one thing about the snow. It makes it easier to see such things as they're standing up above, and I can see their silhouettes essentially, even though they're not very close. Like I said, I wish we had seen a lot more today. Sapsucker was very quiet, and we didn't really see anything up here in the Montezuma area. It was really, I guess we're right here, and I think it's time for me to pack up and head home. It is very dark. I hope you've enjoyed the day. Like I said, I wish we had seen more, but sometimes that's just the way it is. I want to wish you all very well. I hope you've enjoyed what we did see today, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Take care, everybody. Have a great night. Bye-bye.